New countertop appliances. Dial 1. No. Trip to Patagonia.
Northern Patagonia for a 6-night stay in an executive 4-room at Sonesta Hotel Osorno. This luxury hotel.
All right, let's get down to business. That's enough of that.
First-class amenities. TV and breakfast is included. We've also added a rental car.
Very much.
So we're playing
He just called the rage game.
Where they were here, this $150 range. In a few moments, that's going to start going up, up, up.
Never been
When you see the
a
price of
man
the trip in the
that
red
made so
area,
much
hit the
money
button, freeze it there.
for
If
one
you're right,
song
you're on your
ever.
way for a dream vacation.
And I'm happy about it.
Once in a lifetime.
But I'm delighted to be back in the beautiful Mellon
I'm
Auditorium.
gonna stop at $11,000.
Tim Mellon
Stop
is
at between $10,000
the current version
and $11,000.
fantastic person to celebrate a thrilling new milestone for America, the first generation of Trump account children. Trump account children. For the first time ever, we're going to give every newborn American child a financial stake in the future, Head Start life, and a fair shot at the American dream, something people don't talk about so much, at least not for the last 4 years.
Man, you know how to
But
keep
now
a
they're
crowd
talking
on it.
about it big this last
I mean, as you can see.
period of time. It's been
All right, here we go.
unbelievable. When you see what's going on with our economy, the tremendous investments that's been made in our
Right.
country. We have over $18 trillion coming in. The most, I think, was 3. It was 10 years ago in another country, not even our country. We have $18 trillion, and we have thousands of businesses being built all over the country, and hundreds of massive plants, so big, car plants, AI plants. With the support of the men and women here in this beautiful room, over the next 15 years, we're going to put $3 to $4 trillion of wealth into the hands of young Americans who otherwise would have really started out with nothing. It's really an amazing thing because it gives young children that start out with really nothing, and it gives them, boy, it's more money than anybody could imagine. From their standpoint, they'll have a real start in life, and that's why decades from now, I believe the Trump accounts will be remembered as one of the most transformative policy innovations of all time. And I've done a lot of them. The tax cuts, we've done a lot of them, more than I think anybody. And I think this is going to be one of the most outstanding. Last summer, I signed the great, big, beautiful bill delivering. It made this possible, too. It actually made this possible. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to do this. Delivering the largest tax cuts in American history, including no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. And, we did another thing. When you buy a car now, you get a deduction on the interest payment if you borrow money. So think of it, rich people get so many deductions. I'm the king of deductions. I love deductions. But middle-income people never had a deduction before. Now they're getting a deduction on interest. They buy a car. That's going to have a huge impact on the automobile. By the way, there's one proviso. It has to be made in America. If the car is made in another country, no thank you. But they're all going to be made in America pretty soon because we have factories coming in from Canada, Mexico, Japan, Germany, all over Europe. They're all coming here to make their cars because they don't want to pay tariffs. Very simple. It wasn't very complicated. You'll see those numbers starting to produce. That's why you see these massive construction numbers. And soon, when those things start opening, you're going to see employment, and you're going to see wealth creation for middle-income people like you've never seen before. Every single Democrat in Congress voted to raise taxes on hardworking citizens. Their whole campaign was raise taxes. I've never heard of it before. All my life, I grew up, and I hear politicians, we will cut taxes. This is the only group I've ever seen we're going to raise the taxes. Actually, but together with the majorities in the House and Senate, we overcame their obstruction, and we put more money into the pockets of every working American than anyone thought even imagined. Perhaps no provision of the Great Big Beautiful Bill will prove more consequential than Trump accounts. Under this program, the U.S. government will automatically create a tax-free investment account for every newborn American child. Something that
they're just so delicious.
nobody
With
really
better nutrition too.
even thought.
Baglands Best.
There were some brilliant people that thought of it for a long time. They're here with us today. We're going to introduce a couple of them.
Good luck to you,
Nobody
buddy.
really, I've had friends with top people.
Time for the showcase showdown.
They said, I never thought of
my brother, my sister.
We'll fund those personal accounts with a seed contribution of $1,000, which will compound and grow over the course of their lives and could grow up to very, very substantial
So
numbers.
that's
Parents, employers, churches, states, and loved ones will also be able to add up to $5,000 in additional money for those accounts. And with every modest contribution, Trump accounts should reach at least
65 to
$50,000 in
75.
value by the time the child turns 18. It could be very substantially more than that. With slightly greater contributions, the typical account will grow to 100,000, 200,000, and can even go up to past 300,000 per child.
9-5.
And we think most likely, the most likely cases in the 200,000, 300,000 range. The size and scale of this wealth will dwarf all government programs ever created to benefit America's youth. There's never been anything.
all right. Do you want to say hi to somebody?
I want to say hi to
Everybody's
Jenny,
talking
my
about it.
sister,
Even
my
really
brother,
people that
my
truly
mom,
hate
and
me.
my
50
sister.
for the cat.
One person
50
hates
in a
me.
minute.
Like,
One more. Yeah, they went all the way
I
around.
said, you must like this
That means
program
you're
a lot
allowed to have
because
a
you
donut
can't stand
if you're on
me.
a
I said,
diet.
I do,
Go
but
get
I
yourself a
do like you
donut.
more than you think.
Thanks to Anita.
They liked me more in the last year than they liked me before. Although we had a
Too
great first
much.
term, can't forget that we're the greatest economy in the history of our country, but this is blowing it away. So, every president, thank you. Every president in modern history has left our children with nothing but debt. But under this administration, we're going to leave every child with real assets and a shot at financial freedom. We'll ensure that Americans don't just end their lives with a nest egg, but instead all Americans will begin their lives with a beautiful nest egg. There's never been anything quite like this. I want to express my tremendous gratitude to a very special couple who believed so strongly in this vision right from the beginning that they personally donated $6.25 billion. That's $6,250,000,000. Even the 250 is a lot of money when you think. I mean, you know, Nikki, do you hear that money? That's big even compared to rapping. All the money she makes, she's hearing a number like that. She'll say, how many songs do I have to make to catch that? But amazing thing, $6,250,000,000 to fund Trump accounts for an additional 25 million children aged 10 and under. And that's Michael and Susan Dell, two incredible people. Where are you, Michael? Where's Michael? Stand up, Michael. What a great guy. What a great guy. You know, I tell you, he didn't do it for his business. He did it, I guess, probably would have been better off not to. That's a lot. But you know what? I hope everybody goes out and buys Dell computers. My son, I told you, Barrett, he loves that computer. I don't know what the hell you're doing to it, but he likes it. But I just want to thank you very much, and Susan. It's unbelievable, really unbelievable what you've done. So Michael and Susan made this donation in recognition of America's 250th anniversary because there's no better way to honor America's history than to invest in America's future. That's what they did. And this is perhaps the largest, one of the largest, certainly, but perhaps the largest private donations of all time.
Live from Australia, Alexander the Great.
And somebody did say that. One of my very rich is going to put up $100 million in 6 years.
Diego Lopez.
You know, think of it, it's 250 that Michael has. A lot more than mine. And I haven't even talked about the $6 billion. It's amazing when Michael can start off with very little money and go, unfortunately, routinely make such a payment and investment in the youth of our country. Michael, you're great. Thank you.
It's Connor to it.
And I also want to say hello to and thanks some very special people that have been with my administration, really become friends of mine. On occasion, I have little arguments. But generally, I would say really
Do electric skateboard.
who's doing and start off with a man who's doing a phenomenal job, Treasury Secretary Scott Benson. Scott, thank you very much, Scott. And he loved this right from the beginning, Scott, right? He saw this and he said, wow, that's a great idea.
How much for the 30-mile-an-hour skateboard?
By the time they reach 18, but we can go 21, they can keep it in one. But he saw this right from the beginning. He said, wow, this is great.
$800.
And we have some other ideas.
$456.
Edelwand.
Actual retail
Easy one
price.
to
Yes.
think about. And again, that bill allowed us to do this. Otherwise, can you imagine trying to get this approved by Democrats and Republicans? Let's get together. We got it done. Also, a man who's made your life much easier.
What do you do for a living?
Because those of you that are building plants and equipment so you can give your money, ultimately you're giving your money away. But he's made it a lot easier, you know. Approvals for big plants used to take 20 years, 25 years, and then you get rejected. Actually,
You got a chance to
Give us
20
all the
years
plans,
environmentally,
Nolan
they
King.
reject you. You finally will think of it. A guy starts young, he starts an approval process. By the time he's middle-aged, they take a vote, and he loses stuff.
Hi, how you doing?
We have a man that's getting these things done in a matter of weeks.
Maybe the
And the biggest
help you out.
plants in the
We
world
have
are being built right now.
a game
He's
called the
getting them
Grand
done
Game. We're
fast.
going to
He's
start
getting
out with
electric
$1.
plants
So put
built
$1 up there,
so that we
please.
can
Let's see the
buy
target
them.
price. Target
They're
price
paying for them. They want to
is
pay for them. So they can open up their
$8.50.
AI
6 grocery
plants
items
and
here,
they can
4 of
open
them
up their
are priced
automobile
less
plants.
than $8.50.
Lesser so. The
All you have to do is
automobiles,
pick
believe
those
it or not,
4,
take much
and if
less
you're right on every
electricity.
single one of them,
You have to tell me why you need
$10,000.
so much electricity to
Just like that.
create information.
Start trying to
I said,
plan
what's
which
your
ones
primary
are less than
product?
850 while George
Information.
Gray
Oh, I
tells you all
see.
about them. Go ahead, George. All right, here
Information.
we go.
It
First,
better be damn good
16
information
count
for the
box
kind
of
of money.
washable
But
sidewalk chalk.
Lee Zeldin is a
Chalk.
star,
It's 18
and he's
organic
been
tea bags.
incredible. Thank you, Lee.
4 ice cream sandwiches.
And, you know, I have to say this, Scott and I were talking about it. So Lee went out to California after the fire, which should have never happened if they would have let the water flow from the Pacific Northwest, which everybody's been telling them to me. Now I just opened it up.
I'm gonna say
literally
seed,
sent to the
frozen
military
treats,
to
beef
open it
patties,
up.
and rice
If
cakes.
they would have
Finally,
let you would have had
it's
the fires because we would have had a little thing called old-fashioned way, water in the fire hydrants.
rice cakes.
As opposed to
Less than
empty fire
$8.50.
hydrants, you would have had
They
water
are
in most of the houses had the sprinklers on top. No, there was no water in their sprinkler in their living room.
Next
All
one,
those
less than
fires wouldn't have
$8.50.
started.
The chalk.
But they did start, and I will say that Lee, the most
No.
difficult permit was Lee. I went there a couple of days after the fire, met so many people in the streets.
The 4
In
left.
many cases,
Which
fairly
one is the
wealthy
least
people.
expensive? Make it an
Some
easy
very
one.
rich people. Some of the best houses in California burned down. And I said to him, so what do you want to do? Because, sir, we want to
Not the
start
rumba,
immediately.
not
Lee.
the
I said, we'll
cha-cha.
get your permits. Now, the hardest
The salsa,
permit, Lee,
$2.29.
was the federal permit. Is that right? He got everything done in 20 days, right? The
You can
whole
stop
thing?
now if you want
Is
to,
that a
because if
correct?
This is next one, you lose your $1,000, but you get
20 days.
$9,000
So you got
extra if you're
everything
right,
done,
$10,000. Want to go for it?
100% ready to go. And I
Never
went
let
for a
you-
meeting,
never let you forget it.
and this mayor, who's a closely
frozen
incompetent
treats
person,
or the beef patty.
she said, we're going to try and have the permits done within 2 years. Remember that? I got into it. I said, you mean within 2 days, right? She said, no. And I'm meeting all these people as I'm walking along the streets with the fire departments and the
There we go
policemen,
with the T.
and they're all devastated. You know,
I don't know,
they're
man.
still smoldering. They weren't even allowed to go in their property. The Environmental Protection Agency local said, don't go on your property, okay? We said, okay, don't worry about it. Any problem is gone. Any problem is burned. Any germs are burned. They're burned. They were burned. Nobody's ever seen anything like it, but all so unnecessary that it happened. But we got it all done in 20 days, the whole place. And yet now, still, more than a year later, they don't have permits. Almost nobody is building. So I haven't told this to Lee Zeldin yet, but I'm going to put you in charge of getting permits. I think we're going to override the local authorities because they're never going to have it. And when I was told that there's a provision where you can override the local authority to get things done, in case of, because really, to me, it's a national emergency. What they've done to these people is horrible. It's just horrible. And they'll still vote Democrat. Can you believe it? After all, it's just, they get used to it. Although I must say we converted many. We'll probably convert a lot more. But I just want them to get into their houses. And I don't want a big section of the area built into low-income housing. They want to put low-income housing right smack in the middle of it. And it's not the American dream, you know? You didn't do that. And low-income housing is great. I built a lot of low-income housing, but you don't put it there. This is one of the richest neighborhoods in the world, and we're going to let those people. And I recommend it strongly that everybody gets the approval, immediate approval to build a house, and you give them a 10% bonus so they can build a house 10% larger than they had before if they want, for all the suffering they've been caused. So they can build a little bit bigger house. So Lee, if you want, will you accept the job? He's under a lot of stress. Okay. All right. Override those people. Those people are responsible between the mayor and the governor. They'll never get approved. They'll never get approved. So do whatever you can. There's a provision that you're allowed to do. I'll sign it up or something. Never, ever, it'll never happen. I also want to introduce a man.
New basketball on chain game.
Now, if you met Frank, if you knew Frank, he's quiet, but he's actually a stone cold killer. He was one of the biggest people in business. He would have been sitting with you. In fact, now he's got a better seat because he's working with us. He's ahead of a lot of things. But the job he's done in this country is great. And he's working on Social Security and the thing called the IRS. He's working with Scott on both of them, really, but the IRS in particular. He is a fantastic man. Took the biggest pay cut in history.
I'm gonna go $400.
He went from being paid $35 million a year to being paid
$1,000.
I think you may have taken the biggest pay cut in history. He'd be close. He'd be one of the top five. Because a few people have done that. A few billionaires have slowed it down. But Frank has gone from one of the most successful people. He was with Jamie Dimon.
We're all matchy-matchy.
And
Look
with
at
Jamie
that.
likes me too much.
I'm glad you got my text.
That's okay.
I went to work today.
I never
Yeah,
minded
nice to
that.
see you.
But Frank,
George,
you are
what do you got for
fantastic,
Gina?
and you're doing a
Gina
great job. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Armstrong.
Thank you.
USUV.
The director of National Economic Council, a man who's in the news a lot. You know, my only problem is I don't want to lose him. I will tell you, but he's working from a big deficit.
The 2026 Chevy
He's so good,
Trailblazer
Kevin has.
1LT, featuring a 1.3-liter turbo engine, continuously variable transmission, four-wheel drive,
A friend of mine, a senator who has been unbelievable.
It's the Chevy
She's a
Trailblazer.
tremendous woman, married
Give
to
him
a
all the
great
dice game.
Her husband is
I'm going to show you the first number of the
a
price of the
massive
Chevy
man.
Trailblazer. First number is
this guy. He played in the NFL. I guess for 11 years. He was
just like
top of the line player.
Roll the right
I met
number,
him, I
you
said,
get the number. If you
"That's
don't roll
not
the
a
right number,
normal
tell us whether the
situation.
actual
Look at
number
this
is
guy.
higher or lower. Yeah, it's all just
This guy was
Make sure it goes
seriously
over the line.
powerful,
Good
big,
luck.
and he's as nice as he is big. And she is one of our best senators,
Six.
Senator Katie Britt.
My on targets.
Thank you, darling.
Next one. Nice job.
From Alabama, I love Alabama. We love Alabama.
Two.
Marcia
Two.
Blackburn is
It's gotta be higher.
Unfortunately, she's running for
Higher
governor.
than a two.
She's running for governor.
Next one, please.
I'd love her not to. I begged her. I said, Marcia, we don't want to lose you in the Senate. But I have to say they're lucky. They're lucky to get you because you
It's
are,
gotta be
you are
higher.
a talent and a great
Higher,
person.
lower than a 3.
And you've been with me all the way. I
Higher than a
appreciate it.
3. Last
And,
one.
you're a
Good
very
luck,
special
Gina.
person. Marcia, stand up, please.
6.
Was it a 6?
And the senator was
Well,
a
it's
friend
gotta
of
be
mine. You wouldn't
lower.
believe that because we
Lower
went
than
through a
a 6.
rough campaign together.
All right. Show
Yes.
the
We got
show
along
this
so
last
well.
one
and
lower than
we
a
actually
6,
did
please.
joint
Because we know it's an
rallies.
automatic
Can you
order.
believe
You got
it?
the first one.
He wanted to get some of the action. So
Good luck on these next
we do
2.
it.
Higher than a 2.
But we did joint
Yes.
rallies, and the press used to say, "Will you ever
Silent leader.
self-fight?"
Worried about.
I said, "Don't
The
worry,
only one
he'll
I'm worried
come." He
about.
said the same thing. Don't worry, he'll
Higher
come.
than a
He's a
3.
very tough guy, very brilliant guy. In fact, when I said, because I had never gone into a debate before, official, my whole life was a debate, but I never debated before, officially. And I said, let me find out about my competition. Who are these people? Because many of them, they were senators and mostly senators and governors. And I said, well, why don't we start with this guy named Ted Cruz? Let me, well, he was the best student at Harvard, #1 in his class. He was the best student at Princeton or something. And he was the national debate champion for 3 years. And I said, well, I don't like that. I didn't know that. I don't like that. And he was a very good debater. I will tell you that. He's a smart guy. But I'll never forget, because he was the first one I looked at. I just joined the ranks of politics. And the first famous, that was the Rosie O'Donnell. Remember that? Only Rosie O'Donnell? Ireland, you can keep her. Ireland has done us tremendous. The head of Ireland said, are all your people this way? We don't want that. But Ted Cruz has one thing that I like. If I ever have problems, because it's hard to get people approved, he's a brilliant legal mind. He's a brilliant man. If I nominate him for the United States Supreme Court, I will get 100% of the vote. The Democrats will vote for him because they want to get him the hell out. And the Republicans will vote for him because they want to get him the hell out too. Where's Ted? Where are you, Ted? And with all of that being said, he's a great guy too. He's a great guy. We've become friends, and he's a very effective person too. Thank you, Ted, very much. The man knows more about tax than anybody that I know. Jason Smith, Congressman, wonderful person. Thanks, Jason. Thank you, Jason. Great job. Idaho Governor Brad Little, terrific guy. Thank you, Brad. Georgia Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, who hopefully will be the governor of Georgia very shortly. They have a big race. He's leading by a lot in the polls. He was outstanding as a lieutenant governor. He's great everywhere, and I've endorsed him fully, so I don't want to, do anything that you don't know about. I have given him my complete and total endorsement. Burt Jones, where are you, Burt? Thank you, Burt. Great guy. Chief Design Officer of the United States, Joe Gebbia. Joe, thank you. Great idea. Great ideas. Also, we have Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary. I like Kevin O'Leary. Where's Kevin O'Leary? Come out. Kevin, it's so nice. He's with me 90% of the time. But when he's with me, he's really with me. Great. And we got the TikTok deal done. Who the hell thought we could do that, right? I know. I wish he wanted to buy TikTok so much, but I would have done it. But his price was slightly lower. Slightly. He's fantastic. What a good, you're an entertainer, businessman. You have the whole quality side. I know what you did. Having done The Apprentice, I see you on television. You have what it takes, right? So I appreciate it. Thanks for all the nice things you do. And Cheryl Hines. Where's Cheryl? Oh,
New travel accessories.
married to a very, very powerful, important man. And I said, I'll tell you, Bobby, he's strong. I watched her in an interview. I said, Bobby, you keep him in line, don't you? She said, yes, I do. She's got no choice. He's doing a great job in Saudi. Yeah, he's doing a great job. He's doing a very different kind of a job. He's doing things that people have wanted to do for a long time. And they didn't have the courage to say hello to Bobby.
427.
We're also pleased, my daughter,
Yes!
Kenzie, when she heard that this was it. I want to go. Yeah, she happens to be in the wrong state right now. When she heard that there's a certain person that's here, who's the greatest and most successful female rapper in history, Nicki Minaj. Come on. And, you know,
So happy for you. You made it. Now, where are you from?
and Nicki makes a lot of cash. Not as much as Michael Dell. Not quite.
Sunny Southern California. It's hot everywhere you go,
But that's
right?
okay.
Everywhere.
But Nicki
We got
makes a
great game
lot
for
of
you. Go ahead,
money, and
George.
she's
What we've
generously
got for
stepping up.
you
She's investing
is
hundreds of thousands
Trip to
of
see
dollars
the Cape
in
Cod.
to support the children and really the children of her incredible fans. That's great. Focus on that. Why should you give to somebody else that's giving you? I like that. But and I just think she's great. You know, I've been hearing so much over the years because I didn't know Nicki, and I've been hearing over the years she's a big Trump supporter, Trump fan. She took a little heat on occasion, and her community isn't necessarily our day. We did pretty damn well with your community, as we said. But Nicki has
You just
been
both side by
an
side.
unbelievable
So you make the numbers for the
supporter.
I'm gonna
Gets
say
more-
$8,164
almost as much
final
as Mr.
answer.
Wonderful over here. It's been another one that's been so good. But I'd like to ask you to come on. Come on. Come on. She's been such a great supporter and a great supporter of Trump
We'll
accounts.
think of another one. Don't you worry. Let's spin something, flip a coin.
And I said, I'm going to let my nails grow because I love those nails.
Oh, it's
I'm
white.
gonna let those nails grow.
Got it.
She's so good. She's been nagging. She's been with us all the way, right, Alex? She's been with us all the way. Just want to thank her. And it wasn't so easy.
My generalized myasthenia gravis was unpredictable and limited what I could do. But
Mr. Wonderful, come
is
on
a
up here.
continuous symptom.
You've been terrific. Come on up.
Hello. Well, I don't know what to say, but I will say that I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change. And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more. And it's going to motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him and, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work, okay? He has a lot of force behind him, and God is protecting him. Amen.
Thank you.
On behalf of all the entrepreneurs in America, I'd like to thank you, Mr. President, because we create 72% of the jobs. Companies 5 to 500 employees, and all we care about is policy. We love policy, pro-business policy, and these accounts are fantastic for independence and support. I thank you very much. It's all about the entrepreneur, and I think you know that, sir.
Well, that was great. A little interlude. I don't know. That's better than getting Scott Bessent up. Thank you both very much. When Trump accounts officially launch on July 4th of this year, every parent will be able to activate their accounts and access the funds at the trumpaccounts.gov. So it's all set up, all ready to go. It's beautiful. The site is beautiful. On that glorious day, we also expect to have commitments from generous private individuals in all 50 states. They'll be making additional contributions for children in their own states, and Already, legendary investor Ray Dalio has pledged to adopt the entire state of Connecticut. That's pretty good, Michael. Well, thank you very much, Ray. Great
15
legend.
Spinacada.
And today, one of the original advocates of this program has agreed to adopt his home state of Indiana. Brad Gerstner. Brad's here someplace. Where's Brad? Come on. I think, Michael and Brad, would you come up here, please? Come up here. I mean, this isn't exactly Mr. Wonderful and Nikki,
Boy is 90.
but I think they might be worth more money than Mr. Wonderful. These guys are worth a lot of money. But Brad is donating, listen to this, $250 to Trump accounts for all children under 5 in Indiana. So every children, all the children under 5.
90 is high.
And he'll be donating tens of millions of dollars more in matching contributions to millions of children all across the country. He's going to make a massive donation. We know what it is. Brad is not only one of the most successful business people, he's the founder of the Invest America Foundation. And he's been working on this idea for years. And he was the only one over to see Michael. Michael loved it. And those two were a hell of a team, along with Mrs. Dell, who's been so great, Susan. I also delighted to report that dozens of major employers have signed up to add the Trump account contributions to their employee benefit packages, including Uber, Schwab, Charter Communications, and many, many others. And just today it was announced that Intel, NVIDIA, Broadcom, IBM, Steak and Shake, Coinbase, Continental Resources, and Comcast have all signed up for really big contributions. So I want to thank them. I want to have you two guys come on up. Would you say a couple of words? Brad and Michael, would you say a couple of words? You can't do bigger. We love Indiana, but you know, how about Indiana, Iowa? No, we appreciate it. Big numbers. Thank you.
There goes the dollar.
Well, 4 years ago, we set out on a journey
5.
to reconnect every child in America with the American dream. This president ran on a Main Street agenda that too many people have been left out and left behind. And his articulation of no tax on tips, that doesn't help rich folks. That helps those left out and left behind. No tax
She's
on
always
Social
kids
Security,
at
no
85.
tax on overtime. And when Ted Cruz authored the Invest America Act in the Senate, and Michael Dell partnered with me to bring the private sector to bear on this. We had the opportunity that this president was willing to sign. He immediately understood the impact. That this wasn't about the wealthy folks in America. This was about the 50 million American families who will be lifted up and reconnected to the American dream, because this is now the law of the land. Forevermore, every child in America, from rural Missouri to rural Indiana, from Trenton to Compton, is going to start off life with an investment account at birth, seeded with $1,000, where they privately own NVIDIA and Microsoft, all the greatest companies in this country, right? Not dependent on government, independent from government. Not more socialism. The answer to more socialism is more capitalism. This makes every child in America a capitalist from birth, and it would not have happened without the leadership of our Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, without the leadership of the Speaker and Ted Cruz in the Senate, but most importantly, and every business leader in America will tell you this, for too long they had no access in Washington to the White House. People didn't want to hear their ideas. This president is voracious in his desire to hear from America's leaders about how to make America better. This is citizen democracy at its best. An idea that started around a kitchen table in Silicon Valley makes its way to this day. I'm humbled and honored to be here, and I'm grateful for your leadership.
Thank you, Mr. President. As you heard from Brad, the fact that this bill got passed itself was a miracle, and it creates a platform for communities, for families, for corporations, for philanthropists to add to these accounts. And in not too many years, essentially every child in America will have savings invested in the greatest companies in this country. And that will change the face of this country over the next 10, 20, 30 years. We couldn't be more excited about this and the opportunity to make a difference. You know, the best investment a country can make is in its people, especially in its children. And this creates an incredible platform for that to occur at enormous scale. And
There's no higher pressure.
America's
Thank you.
Culinary Cup. New series CBS Wednesday, March 4th.
Welcome back, everybody. Price is Right Showcase round. Good luck, you guys. George, let's see the first showcase, please.
You got it, Drew, Bonnie, and Jocelyn. This showcase is your blueprint to success with
I
prizes.
want to give a
You'll have
very
to
special
fix it,
thanks
build
to
it,
some of the
and
CEOs
travel like
here
a
this
pro.
morning.
First tackle
Glad
home improvement
Tedev of
projects
Robin
and more
Hood, what a
with
job
these
he's done.
power tools.
What a job
Power
you've done.
tools.
Young guy.
This set of
Nice
power
young guy.
tools includes a drill driver, an
Arjun
impact driver,
Sethi
two
of
saws, a
Kraken.
multi-tool, and a
Arjun,
flashlight. Accessories are included. We've also added a 5-drawer steel utility cart.
Anthony Noto.
What else? Take your
SoFi
skills to the
Technologies.
backyard and sculpt perfect
Thank you
lines
very
in your
much,
lawn
Anthony.
with this new
These are the
New
ones you
lawnmower.
read about, and Bill Ackman is here, Pershing Square, Pop Tan, Broadcom, so many others that I name and will be up here all day, but I just want to say that what a job you all did. What a big job. Everybody, just about everybody in this room. Everybody, I'm not in love with everybody.
A new SUV.
If they're here, I'm starting to like them a lot better. Because they're here for a very good reason. I'm officially calling on all employers all across America to follow the lead of many of these amazing companies and make matching Trump account contributions to benefit for the American worker, and they're going to benefit the American worker so much. This morning, I'm also pleased to announce that Visa is creating a brand new platform which will allow credit card holders to deposit their cashback rewards directly into Trump
Normally, I would
accounts.
probably
That's a big
bail
deal.
on it,
Visa.
but we lost our house
Thank
in
you.
Helene.
Where's
So
Visa?
We don't even
I
have
have
one right
Visa.
now. We're living in a rental. So
Thank you
go
very
on,
much.
that's all you want.
Jocelyn.
These initiatives could not come at a better moment because there's never been a better time to invest in the United
Since
States. of
$1,500.
America. Who knew it would have happened this fast?
Take it away, George.
I inherited
All
a
right,
mess.
Bonnie, your showcase is
We
dedicated
were a country
to
that was
those
laughed
who
at
burn
a
the
year and a
midnight
half ago.
oil. First,
We were laughed
power
at.
through those late-night
Now we're the
work
hottest
sessions
country
with this
anywhere in the
brand
world.
new
Nobody
home
A
even
new
does.
home
And
office.
who knew this was going to take place this quickly? Right, Michael? I didn't think it was going to go that fast. I knew we were going to do it. It would take a couple of years at least. Just a couple of days longer than the first year. So it's really amazing. And just this morning, as I'm running out, I see the S&P 500 hit 7,000 for the first time ever. Ever. So I say America is back. America is back. Since the election, the stock market has set 52 all-time record highs, adding $9 trillion in value. And $18 trillion of investments pouring into the country's going to be higher than that. Just over 1 year
Trip to
ago,
New
we
York
were a
City.
country that lost its way. We were mocked and scorned, and every American child will now be and have access to something that is really incredible, and they can watch directly the economic boom that's taking place. This is a boom that's taking place, the likes of which we've really never seen. I don't think people get it yet. A lot of people they don't see the thousands of businesses being the hundreds and hundreds of massive factories that are going all over.
Trip to Thailand.
Yeah, they're going to start to see it. They're starting to see it. I mean, they're modestly intelligent. If they're very intelligent, they saw it about a year ago. With us today is Greg Smith, a fourth-generation family farmer and volunteer firefighter from Culpeper, Virginia, along with his wonderful wife, Heather. Greg and Heather have an 18-month-old son and a 1-month-old that they also welcomed just recently, twin boys. And they can't wait to activate Trump accounts for all three of their children this July 4th. Greg and Heather. You want to come up here, Craig and Heather? Where are you, Craig and Heather? Come on up. Greg and Heather, come on up. Come on up. It meant so much to them. You know, people write letters. Every once in a while you get a letter, it just hits you. Craig and Heather, come on up. Thank you.
Let's say $19,550.
Wow, look at this family, huh? They're
All
a
right,
rich
good luck.
family
Good
now.
luck. We're going to find out who wins right after this.
The
Don't
kids
go
are
away.
richer than the parents. This is that's the way we want it.
You have to
I thank you very much.
Wow.
We just want to thank President Trump for all of his hard work and dedication to American families and farm families like ours. Farming is not always easy and sometimes margins are tight, so investments like this into our children really help us to buy diapers and formula and not have to worry about making financial decisions for them this early on. So thank you very much, President Trump.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So nice. Also joining us today is the Goins family from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Charlie works in manufacturing, and he's here with his wife, Savannah, his high school sweetheart. In 2022, Charlie and Savannah opened their home to foster care, really expecting to take in one child, but soon they were taking in a family of 3 siblings and formally adopting them. A short time later, Charlie and Savannah also welcomed a biological daughter. Trump accounts will give each of these children a much better start in life. And Charlie and Savannah, where are you? Are you down there? You want to come up? Come on up here, Charlie, real fast. We're holding up a lot of big business people. We can't hold them up. Michael will take back his donation. Say what? I want my money back. Come on up here. These are great families, but there's millions and millions of families that are going to be so amazed and so happy at what's taken place. Sort of a miracle, I think. Nice to see you.
Thank you, President Trump, for having my family and me here today. My wife and I have spent the better part of our adult lives working to advance children in our community, and it was our faith that first led us to open our home to foster care, and it was God's plan that allowed us. Absolutely. And it was God's plan that allowed us to adopt 3 amazing children out of foster care, to welcome so many more, and
Let's start with you. Great showcase. Power tool
our
set,
youngest
a
daughter
lawn tractor, and
Florence
a
into the world.
Hyundai Venue. At $32,500
It's through our
actual
experience
price.
that we've seen how opportunity, or the lack thereof, can really impact a child at the very beginning stages of their
Home
life
office,
before
a
they
trip to New
even
York
get a
City and a
chance
trip to
themselves.
Thailand.
And that's why my wife and
$24,550 actual
along
price.
with some of the work that the First Lady is doing,
Yes!
we are working to help foster families, foster and adopted families, and personally in our state, with protections and support in our home state of Arkansas. Every child deserves hope, stability, and a strong chance at a future, a strong future. And for young families, especially like ours, your first priorities are, of course, your diapers, your wipes, your car seats, and all that stuff. And so starting and investing into a investment account is not necessarily on top of the priority list. And we're so thankful to have this. I think this sends a powerful message that this administration believes that financial opportunity can start early, that it is intentional, and that it can impact every single family. And my wife and I are so excited that this administration has placed families and children like ours at the forefront of economic policy.
New Monday, February 23rd. Working in the open, by working the shadows. A new series from the team behind FBI. Nice work, partner. CIA, new series, CBS.
Getting heavy. That's still 50 pounds or something. I said, how much longer is that? And finally, it broke loose. But you could see a loving father there, couldn't you? Huh? The way he did that, right? Wasn't that a loving father? I watched that. He was grabbing. That's a great family. Thank you very much, both. Beautiful. So in conclusion, the ultimate success of the Trump accounts will be measured not just in the wealth created, it will be seen in young people buying houses that they could never have even dreamed of buying. It'll be seen in diplomas earned, companies founded, families formed, and more babies born. It'll really be seen in something where you're given a chance. You're given a chance at life, a very good chance. Above all, Trump accounts will help bring the hope and prosperity to every community that every community wants to see. And it'll bring back the American dream. The American dream is so beautiful. I would mention it all the time when I'm running. Whenever I run, I talk about the American dream because that's what we want to create. Others don't talk about it. But we have the American dream back, I think, now maybe better than ever before. For generations, Washington politicians have done nothing to take from the hardworking people of our country. They take and take. They do nothing but take. They've made workers' lives harder, sent prices higher, pushed your dreams out of reach. And both parties, I mean, they didn't do the job that they were supposed to do. Some were fighting, and sometimes we fight against some of the great politicians we have here. They fight with me, most of them, and we fight to make things better. But we run into walls of other politicians that either don't want to do something or they almost feel like it's a destruction of our country. But now we're doing something much better than giving the next generation a handout. We're giving them ownership of America's future so that they can grow up, chart their own destiny, and make our nation greater and stronger and better than ever before. So I just want to thank all of the people that participated today, the great business leaders, the great celebrities, and all of the people that are in this room. You've done so much. And I just want to also give a little bit of a shout out to a lot of great politicians that are right now voting on some very important measures, plus the politicians in this room. They have really worked hard on this. This is something that it's amazing that it got done. If you knew the political process, it was very complex, very hard to get done, to get all of those votes together. But we did it, and it's going to be great for America. And Brad and Michael, thank you both very much. Special, special people. Thank you very much. And God bless everybody in the room, and God bless America. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you. Thank you.